Okay, welcome everybody to the briefing on Thursday the 17th. Lovely to look at a chart and you can see little bits of fronts on there, but a little bit of respite from what we've had over the last couple of days and what's actually coming towards us in the next 2 days. Just to sort of, you can see it's a faint ridge of high pressure, but there's a bit more sort of spacing between the isobars and the wind's dropped a bit. So the only sort of slight fly in the ointment is this sort of rain showers that are attached with this weak front here. And that'll be coming towards us later, maybe lunchtime, 1-2 o'clock. But then following on from that, you've got this nasty little low pressure developing here, and that's coming across us during the night and into tomorrow. And you can see the spacing on the isobars there. There's sort of various different forecast models, but they're all showing gusts of 50 knots plus in the south of England. And actually, looking at the Lasham weather station, we had a gust of 50 knots last night as a squall line went through. So not really much let up for Saturday either. It's still fairly windy in here, and then moving into Sunday, more fronts, strong winds coming through. So that's the theme of the next couple of days, windy. Yeah, less so today, 250, 12 knots. Yeah, certainly the weather station at Lasham has shown the wind drop right off. It's sort of 10 to 12 gusting 15, 18 knots at the moment. So quite a reduction, but I think that will sort of steadily pick up a little bit as the morning goes on. And you can see that Farnborough is suggesting between the hours of 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock tonight, 15 gusting 25. I think that will be the case at times. And then this tempo showers and showers and rain and 8,000 meters viz between 13 and 1600 hours. That's that sort of weak front that you can see on the chart. Upper winds still fairly strong, and you can see why, because if you look at the 24,000 foot winds, middle of the country, 140 knots over us, to the south, 105. So I think we're still looking at 30 knots plus at flying heights here today. You'll get to the top of the winch launch and stand still, basically. But they're westerly, 260, 270 most of the time. So certainly straight down the runway. Sat pic shows, lovely clear air at the moment. The extra cloud here and the sort of bright bits are the sort of bits of rain. They're out to the west, and they'll slowly head our way as the morning goes on. You can see them coming across the Irish Sea here, hitting the West Country fairly shortly. So that's the picture now, and that'll just sort of track its way across here, hopefully breaking up a little bit, and we won't see too much of the showers. Temperature wise, it was quite warm yesterday, I think 12, 13 degrees out of the wind. I think not quite as warm today, back to sort of seasonal average of about 8s to 9s, maybe 10s in the sheltered area. And this is a quick look at top meteo. Their 30-foot gusts forecast this morning, sort of steadily, and then picking up a bit as the afternoon goes on. So I think the Met Office are right, 15 gusting 25 at times. And cloud amounts quite clear this morning. And as the morning rolls on, you can see this weak front coming through, cloud thickening up. That's 12, 1 o'clock, probably around us between 1 and 2 o'clock. And then hopefully that clears through for later in the afternoon. So definitely flyable today. We'll talk about how we're going to operate off the main runway fairly shortly. In terms of airspace, nothing going on in the local area around Lasham. As you can see, this stuff here has been there for months. Southampton hours of operation, irrelevant to us. High intensity radio transmissions from Boscombe down, again, not relevant to us, and the danger area crossing service not available. So those, which they just take them off the chart, to be honest, and amend the AIP. Fairford ATZ is activated again, and that's obviously to do with what's going on in Eastern Europe. They're at heightened state of alert, I suspect. But as I say, in our area and through here, no known airspace issues. Just quickly put a map of Lasham up. If we're going to operate today, the grass areas are still going to be pretty wet here, and certainly parts here. So if we're going to tow out, it's going to have to be down the perimeter track carefully, keeping the gliders on the tarmac, and then out here to the launch point, which will be at the runway intersection here. I think cables are going to be along the south side of the airfield, southern runway edge, then the winching gliders and aero towing from the northern edge of the runway. So landing on the runway, if you're circuiting to the left, a southern circuit, you either land on the grass here or the main runway. If you do a circuit to the north, I'm afraid you've got to take grass north side. It'll be a bit squelchy, but it won't be too bad. That way it avoids mirror circuits to the same landing area. If you are landing on the runway, either choose one side or the other and roll it up to this area here. Not too close to the launch point. Don't rely on the wheel brake. If you stop in this area here, then you can wheel it along. Someone can come in behind you and land on the other side of the runway. Whatever you do, don't sort of just land in the middle and stop it short because you block the runway for everybody else. So apart from that, that's the only real known issues today on our operation. 2EE have certainly one King Air going out at 13:15. That I've seen a flight planned for, but there was the possibility of it going out once at 12:30 or 12 o'clock for about half an hour air test, then coming back in and then going out again. But I've only seen a flight plan for it going out and going somewhere else. So we'll just see how that one goes. No other heavy jet movements today. Right, folks, I suggest you get the kit out. And Jordan will be along fairly shortly, I'm sure, and I'll be along about 10 o'clock. Part of our job today will be bolting things down for the expected strong winds tomorrow, tying trailers down, taking the windsock down, and moving motor gliders that are parked out into the hangar. So when we come to pack up at the end of the day, folks, hopefully there should all be a few motor gliders either in the hangar. If they're not, we'll make sure the gliders are packed well to the back, so we've got room to put 3 motor gliders in for a few days. Okay, hopefully see you there shortly.